In today's video, I'm going to be discussing my 2023 goals and where I want to be by the end of the year as a wildlife photographer. This is something that I've also done in 2021 and 2022, and I really like doing these videos because I like to be able to look back on them at the end of the year and see, what goals did I succeed on, which ones did I not succeed on, and what do I need to work on next year to get where I want to be in the future. And on top of that, it allows me to, as I go through the year, look at that list and see if I'm hitting all the points that I want to hit and succeeding on all those goals, and then I can, adjust and make the changes that I need to make sure that by the end of the year, I hopefully do make those goals. So let's jump straight into it with the first one, which is to make better videos. This replaces the weekly uploads goal that I've had in past start of the year videos. Usually I want to try to upload weekly and I was just trying to be consistent with content, but I'm going to change that now. Now I would rather be less consistent with content, but make it the best video that it can possibly be. Make it the highest quality content that I can possibly make, and make it a video that I finish and that I'm proud of and that I put out to you guys and that you guys are really excited and happy to watch from start to finish. Quality over quantity. So that's the first goal. Second goal is to complete all of the different plans that I have for this year. I've talked about all these plans in a previous update video that I did a few months ago, but to go over them briefly again, first of all, I'm working here in Togody Mountain Lodge all the way up until the end of March. That's kind of why I have this very unprofessional setup here for this video. I'm in my dorm room at the lodge, and I'm 1,000 miles away from my studio that I typically film in back at home. The plan is to work here all the way up until March and shoot wildlife out in the Tetons, because I'm just a little bit east of the Tetons, all throughout winter, and make some vlogs of winter wildlife photography in the Tetons. And then after March, I'm going home for about a month, and then I'm going to be coming back out here at the start of May. And the whole month of May, I'm just going to be living in my truck and driving around the Tetons and Yellowstone and photographing wildlife and make videos and make photos and pump that stuff out to you guys. So that's the plan for May. And then right at the end of May, I leave for 6 weeks to go live on a sailboat in Southeast Alaska. I'm going with this guy named Nick. Renegade ADV is his YouTube channel. I'll link him down below if you want to check that out. He's going to be producing some awesome content on the sailboat up in Alaska as well, so definitely check his channel out. I'm going to be going with him up to Alaska for 6 weeks, and we're going to be sailing around Glacier Bay National Park, up to Haines and Skagway, and then all the way back down to Ketchikan, Alaska, through Juneau and all that stuff. So we're basically going to do all of southern Alaska on a sailboat for 6 weeks and create wildlife photography vlogs and photos and all kinds of cool content from there as well. So that'll be through June, and then in July I'll be starting work either somewhere in here in the GYE, Yellowstone or the Tetons, or maybe up in Glacier. I've looked at a couple different parks, but I'll be starting work somewhere seasonally, and maybe working as a guide, maybe just working a seasonal job as a cashier or whatever. I'm not totally sure yet, haven't lined all that out. But I'll be working in one of these locations and doing wildlife photography and shooting vlogs there all the way through the fall. So that's goal number 2, is to complete all of those plans and for those to pan out as I'm hoping they will, and to create some really awesome content from all of those for the channel. And then goal number 3 is to continue to build out my wildlife photography portfolio from the GYE, which obviously, given that I'm going to be here until at least May and then possibly, July through fall as well, I should be able to continue to do that. And then goal 4 is probably the very most ambitious one on this list, and that is to reach 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I know that is very ambitious and that is a lot of growth, but hey, last year in 2022, I started the year at less than 1,000 subscribers and I ended the year at almost 10,000 subscribers. So it was like 10 times growth. So when you look at it that way, this is only 5 times growth because I'm already almost at 10,000. So it's in terms of amount of growth, percentage of growth, this is actually less growth than last year, even though it's a much higher number. Less growth than last year. So I think it's reasonable, and I think if I'm consistent with producing the best videos that I possibly can, it's a reasonable goal to attain. So that's what we're shooting for by the end of this year. And then that leads perfectly into the next goal, which is to have the 10,000 subscriber Alaska trip booked, the winner selected, and ready to go for 2024. Because where we're going in Alaska, which is Lake Clark National Park, is very, very high demand and difficult to book. Honestly, you have to book way in advance. There's no way that it's going to happen in 2023. I'm too late to book for 2023. I would have had to book that like a year ago. But now that it's looking like hitting that 10K subs mark is pretty close, I'm looking into booking it now, and I think we're going to be able to book it for 2024. So that's the goal. And then obviously, like I said, in 2024, we'll actually go and go on that free trip and, have a great time. Me and one of you guys that's watching this, as long as you're a subscriber, you have a chance to win that free trip to Alaska and to go photograph bears with me up there. So if you haven't already, subscribe for that. But that's the goal, is to have that all booked by the end of this year and be ready to go for next year. So yeah, that's the next goal. And then moving into the next one, I would like to launch a newsletter this year. This is something that a lot of photographers do to keep in touch with their followers even better. And it's something that I'd like to do, just to keep you guys, those of you that are interested, even more in touch with, what I'm doing, and maybe just monthly send out a little update on what I'm up to and the upcoming plans, or, if maybe I'm about to sell something new or announce a workshop or something, you would hear it first in the newsletter. Or if I have a recommendation on gear that I've been using, recommend those in the newsletter. Stuff like that, just to connect with you guys even more and keep in touch with you guys. So that's something that I'm really hoping to do this year as well. And then moving on, this is a goal that I've had every year and will continue to have every year after this, and that is to make more money on photography this year than I did last year. Basically just want to top last year's sales and the money that I made on YouTube ad revenue and all that. Just want to make more money on YouTube and photography and all this stuff involved in it this year than last year. And then finally, the very last goal is going to be to prepare and launch a 2024 workshop somewhere in the US. This is still very preliminary, and I'm not sure if that goal is going to happen because a workshop is a very big undertaking, and I'm not even sure if I'm ready for it yet. I'm still working all of that out. But if things work out, I would like to launch a workshop. It'd be a small group somewhere in the US in 2024 to shoot in, maybe either Yellowstone or the Tetons or the Smoky Mountains. Like I said, that's still very preliminary, making no promises. For those of you that are interested, I really appreciate it if you're interested and would love to have you along if I do announce a workshop. But it's a very big undertaking, and still working on that. But it is a goal for the year. Hopefully I can get one prepared and launch one and lead a workshop in 2024. So yeah, those are my goals for 2023, and that's what I'm hoping to have completed by the end of the year. Have some pretty hefty goals on here and some really big, exciting plans. So we'll see if they all pan out, guys. But I'm very excited for the year. I think it's going to be an incredible year, and I can't wait to see where things go with these goals. I think that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Thank you all for watching if you did stick around to this point. I'm very excited for 2023 and for the content to come this year, and I will see you guys in the next video.